This episode of FilmRiot is brought to you by Domain.com.
Today on FilmRiot, we have a special guest. Who is it? We'll find out after this 10-second bumper you've seen a million times. Welcome to FilmRiot Mondays. Today, the special guest I alluded to 15 seconds ago is Eric Kessler of Kessler Crane. Hello, sir.
Hello, Ryan.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence, which of course you're in Texas because we're shooting the new episode of Paper Productions, which is long overdue.
Because of you.
Because of me, it's true. Which I got tired of the threats, so
Wow.
now we'll do it.
Glad they worked.
Yeah, but we asked the fans to shoot in some questions for you. They were quite eager. We had a lot of questions. How many questions did we have?
Over 200.
Over 200 questions for you, my friend. We selected the best, and now I'm going to fire them off at you, and hopefully you'll answer them well.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. First question comes from Daniel Bell. What inspired you to launch Kessler Crane?
Well, Kessler Crane got started actually because I was working with a friend of mine that was an independent filmmaker and doing a lot of small productions. I had just come out of selling my previous company where we made aftermarket paintball gun products.
Which is like right in the same
Same
area
thing.
as film production. Yeah.
I went from making things that shot people to making things that
Shoot people.
So anyhow, he had asked me to build a few devices for him at that time, mainly being a crane and a couple other support pieces to be used on some of his productions, and I did. They liked them, and we had equipment, at that time in a small shop, and so we just kind of made a few more to sell to see, how they would go.
Yeah.
And things just snowballed.
That's crazy. So you kind of fell into it and became the leader of the market, basically.
Well, I don't know if we're a leader.
Well, I'm
but we're,
saying it.
okay,
You don't
all
have
right,
to say it.
all
I'm
right.
saying it.
We're doing okay. We're doing well.
Why so expensive for what basically is pieces of metal welded together? I think this is a great question to answer because I think a lot of people think it's so easy to just, like you said, he thinks it's just pieces of metal woven together, and I think you will probably have a great answer for that.
I mean, this is one of those things that we can go on. I mean, I have a million different reasons why. I
Yeah.
mean, this is the same, thing that we all ask, why can't I have a Cadillac for the price of a Yugo? You know what I mean? I mean, we all wish, right? So, I mean, we'll just start with obviously the quality, even of just the raw material metal itself. I mean, steel, rust, it's heavy, and it's cheap.
Yeah.
What we do is a very high aircraft grade aluminum. So right there, it's not so cheap anymore.
Right.
At the same time is how we handle the material. Welders aren't free. Those things are $10,000, $15,000 for a decent welder. That has to be paid back. And so the cost of that welder is broken into how many units we think we'll sell over the life of that welder. So that adds a little bit of cost. Then we have like our, how it's handled. If you got a company that's building cranes that are hacksawing them in the garage,
Right.
It's obviously a lot cheaper than like us using, $250,000 CNC machines that are precision machining these stuff within thousandths of an inch. That way you get a very high quality product.
Yeah.
Again, finishing, we use a professional powder coating system that goes through a full acid dip so you don't, so you have a finish that will hold up. The quality of even our bolts, everything's stainless steel. Obviously you can buy cheap, low-grade fasteners that are going to rust or break or bend.
Yeah.
As to where ours,
I mean, bottom line is like, you get what you pay for.
Right, you get what you pay for.
I guess a good challenge would be, because I'm not in the company. I rep you guys because I believe in the company. I really think it's some of the best stuff out there. So I think the challenge is go get yourself one of these, rent a low-grade crane, dolly, whatever it is, and then get a Kessler and tell me I'll see the difference. Because the other thing for me is I've had other pieces of gear, like you guys' gear, and that thing breaks within a year and it's gone. We've had your gear for like 3 years and we're using the same gear without a single issue. We haven't even had to add maintenance.
It's like anything else, tools or anything. If you buy quality the first time, you buy it once.
Yeah.
And I understand that not everybody has a budget that they can afford, the best.
Yeah, totally.
And, so what I would recommend there, if you can't, either rent the best until you can earn enough money to buy one, if it seems like the proper thing to do, or just always rent. You just charge it back to the customer for your productions. Or start off with the best quality on the lower end, and it's not like they don't work at all. It's just they're usually more finicky. They don't last. There's no company support behind it, so if there is a problem, it's aggravating. Things like that.
Yeah, you're just screwed. Basically.
Yeah, you're done.
I mean, that's pretty much what I did with lenses. When I first started out, I was using $100, $200 lenses because I couldn't afford a $1,500 lens. I had to work my way up to like L series glass, size glass, stuff like that. So I started with lenses that would work, but looked a little ugly, and then made my way there.
Exactly. Yeah. But
So
I mean,
I guess the baseline question is, are you price gouging? And the answer would be,
absolutely not. I mean, we, obviously we have a similar, if you look at any, reputable company, they can give you the same model. You obviously have a certain amount of money that goes into the actual product itself, the materials, the assembly. Then you have overhead cost. Obviously, we have a building, we have employees that we'd like to, pay fair wages, so they can enjoy life and have a family.
Health insurance,
yeah,
maybe.
health insurance, a 401k plan. I mean, this is all stuff that a guy building something out of a garage by himself, a DIY, doesn't have to pay for.
right.
This is all part that goes in it. And the other part of it is, distribution, marketing. That all costs money. Packaging, all of that goes into the price of a product. And it's what the customer expects. I mean, so you're buying it, and then also service. I mean, we have quality people that are waiting on the phones for to help you out. All of our guys monitor emails throughout the weekend. Twitter, your Facebook, we're available, and that costs money. My guys are on call all the time.
Yeah.
So you're paying for service as well, and also development. A lot of the money that is left over goes into research and development.
Exactly.
We have a very extensive research and development department in-house, and that's where we get to build things like SenaDrive, so there's that next best product for you that's going to raise your level of production.
Right. So it's you keeping ahead of the curve for our benefit.
Well, basically, yeah. I mean, like SenaDrive, for $6,000, you now can pull off, 3-axis, visual effects shots that that just before we released it would probably cost you $20,000 to $30,000 minimum.
Yeah.
And probably not even do it on the same level that we're giving it
Yeah,
to
it's like
you for.
a portable motion control rig for under 10.
Right. So when you buy our previous product, you're somewhat investing on that next product.
Right.
And our goal is to take the stuff that's in Hollywood, the big expensive stuff, and figure out how to make it affordable for the the end user, but keeping quality in mind. We're not going to build junk. That's already out there. When we started this company, said we're not going to compete with the cheap stuff. There's plenty of that to choose from. What we want is to build a tool that works and works every day, and that's what we do. So when you buy our product, that's it. You're done. And if you have an issue, you call us up. We take care of it.
If you're wanting to create a website for your new great idea for a company that helps people with their beards, like people like me who grow it in patchy, not quite as beautiful as Bruno's beard.
Bro, it's all about the genes, bro.
Like your Levi's, or are you coming on to me?
You're an idiot.
You should be using domain.com to get your hosting plan and your domain name up and going. Why? Because one, they got that domain discovery service. So if you want to get like beardy.com and it's taken, maybe they come up with beardtastic for the less fortunate.com. And you're like, man, that's a beautiful website. Thank you, domain.com. And they have that clutter-free service that I'm always talking about. Plus, here's the big one for me. You use the coupon code FilmRiot at checkout. You get 15% off your domain name and web hosting for your super wonderful beard assistance company. And I already thank you for the greatness that you're going to do. So go to domain.com, get your beard assistance up and going, and I'll visit it. Next question comes from Andrew, and it says, any new Kessler products in the works?
Of course, there's always new Kessler products in the works.
Of course.
As far as ones I can talk about. Yeah. Well, our new Pocket Jib Traveler.
Which looks amazing.
Yeah, that's our foldable mini jib.
And that one's pretty affordable. What's the price?
Yeah, it's $5.99. It folds down into a 27-inch length package. No removable parts. Everything just folds out and extends. And weighs 5 pounds. It can handle a 10-pound camera. So
that's great, because that's, for me especially, because that's like a run and gun. We don't
Right.
have permission to be here, set up in 2 seconds sort of thing.
yeah, we're hoping it takes off. Bringing, when we first started Kessler Crane, obviously it was with cranes, and back then it was right before the DSLR, revolution, if you will. Everybody was used to bigger, heavier equipment. Everybody shooting on things like XLs on up to beta cams and the Vericams, things like that. So we built like our dual arm crane, and people didn't, that was lightweight for that time. And it's still a really nice crane. It's very heavy duty as far as weight capacity, extremely stable, and it's still light, at 36 pounds for a 12-foot crane, especially offering that stability. But now, since sliders are so easy to use, when the slider, thing happened to the market, everybody just more or less started gravitating to them because it's something that required very little setup and added a lot of movement to their pieces. So we saw the crane thing go way down because people didn't want to go through all the setup. So we're hoping with the Pocket Jib Traveler, it kind of brings back the jib move to people's work, because all you see is slider moves now. Everybody,
Yeah,
which you need
so
them,
true.
but if you use it right, for the purpose of
Well, it adds so much.
it does. But we want to see jib shots back in people, and so we figured in order for that to happen, we have to make it affordable, and we have to make it quality, and we have to make it lightweight and easy to use, fast to set up. So we think we've done about the best job we can possibly do.
Would Kessler ever consider a budget crane for the low-budget filmmakers? Thanks, Lee.
Well, we already have one. It's our KC Light model. It's what we believe is the best quality jib on the market for under $400. I mean, of course, there are cheaper ones, but we feel that ours is built to a point where you're not going to have any issues with it, and going to perform on a daily basis for you.
So what's the exact price on it?
It's $399.
Which is really cheap for a solid.
Right.
Yeah. Which we did an episode on, right?
Yeah. Well, you did.
Which they could check out right here.
On FilmRiot or Pimp Your Production.
Pimp Your Productions. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Okay. You can talk now.
All right. Sorry.
Pat says, when's the next Pimp Your Productions coming out? Yeah, we've been waiting for a while.
Well,
What's
when,
the deal?
Ryan?
Soon? I think we're looking mid-February actually right now.
All right. Sooner the better. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see this one.
There is a really cool VFX shot in it.
It's going to be amazing.
So that might hold us off a little bit. But as of right now, the time frame seems mid-February. We're going to push for that pretty hard because I want to get, after we shot what we shot, which we won't say what we shot, I'm really excited to try to get this out immediately.
Right.
Shot.
Yes.
I want to say
see it.
shot as many times as possible.
Shoot
Since
the
I
shot.
started, I just stuck with it.
Right.
Hey, Eric. First off, thanks so much for your contribution to Bishop Seppa to FilmRiot and its viewers. Secondly, do you have any tips for beginning crane and dolly users, such as myself?
As far as like how to use the equipment, I think is what they're.
Yes, I believe that is what they're asking. Yeah.
I would say KU is a great resource. We have the Kessler University site, which is KesslerU.com. On that site, we have Pimp Your Productions,
That's
which
a good
shows
show.
you how to use our
I've seen
gear, as well as many pieces of work and tutorials, both put on by us as well as our users. As a matter of fact, if you put together a great piece of work, give it to us, and we may post it on KU.
Are you talking to me or them?
Anybody wants to listen.
So boom, that's out into the universe. So make something, send it to this guy, and it might go on the site, which is a great site that you should definitely check out, which I think we've talked about on the show. It's got a really good show on there that we just talked about, Pimp Your Productions. It's really good.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
You know that guy.
It's really good.
Logo.
So again, like I said, usually this is the part where I give a short film suggestion of the week, but I'm putting that responsibility onto you. So what's your suggestion?
My suggestion is Beyond, which is a documentary film shot by Cale Glendenning, where he follows Joey L., which is one of our Kessler shooters and extremely talented photographer, through India on a piece that he calls Holy Men, or one of his photograph pieces called Holy Men, where he's following these men who have given up all material possessions and are basically just living about as pure as they possibly can, just seeking happiness within themselves. It's beautifully shot, so the visuals are stunning, as well as a really great story.
And it's that's great. I don't think I've ever suggested a documentary on the show before, so that's great. And it's much longer than any short I've suggested.
It's
too,
43 minutes.
which is still a short film.
Right.
Plus it's Vimeo, so if you got like iTunes, you can still watch it, or Apple TV, you can still watch it on TV.
Yep.
Get a nice drink, enjoy yourself a documentary.
That's right.
So there you go. All right, well, thank you very much, Kessler, sir, for answering our questions.
Thank you.
And being on the show. We got to get you on the show again soon, but maybe next time get you in Thursdays.
Right.
That way we can like blow you up or
That'd be great.
something. All right. So until next time that Kessler's on the show, we'll see you guys next week. What's up with your obsession to Matthew McConaughey?
Nice. That started off as an inside joke.
Is that your Hollywood man crush? I mean, is
Right,
That,
yeah,
You're only allowed to have one. You
Right.
realize
Well,
that,
of
right?
course. Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean the guy's hot.
So you watch Magic Mike and probably lick the screen.
I
Did you
can
get kicked out
I
of
can
the
tell
theater?
you what Panasonic tastes like.